Okay? Great. Okay, now anyone, are you guys? Yeah.
So are we actually live right now?
Yes.
Okay, look.
Okay, and then.
Hey guys, can I get everybody's attention super fast?
Yes.
Oh, no. Okay. This is, they put it at page by page. I gotta separate it real quick. Can you come put your name on your slide so Claire knows what order to go in?
Oh, that's what I'm doing right now.
Quickly, come find your slide.
And then you want to keep your eyes on Claire because she's going to point at you when it's your turn, okay? Did everyone hear that? Okay. Nice.
Hold on. Just relax. Just relax. Keep going. Don't mess that order up.
It's okay, wait, just leave it and then after I'm done, you can.
Then we'll go through it and name it. We're gonna be ready to go in 2 minutes.
And then I'll read it in front of you.
Yep. One of these is gonna be on the podium. Claire's gonna have you. Yes, I gave it to
Okay, what order?
Grab your Rixas and
which one? Okay, so it's okay. First, okay, who's got, well, you need a pen. Okay, pencil, great. Can you hand it to her real quick or start right now? Who's got, okay, early life Ivana. So that's gonna be your. Okay, and then, thank you. Go as fast as we can, guys. We'll find Breonna Taylor. I know Breonna Taylor is right behind George Floyd.
me too.
Passing.
Malachi.
Malachi.
Malachi, where are you guys? You're supposed to be telling me what.
It's okay. She's doing it for you. And this one's just gonna be. This is just for your information. So you can say, tell who to start.
Destiny went to the law.
Don't worry about Destiny. Keep going.
What do you need from Destiny?
We'll just get one. Who's doing that one?
What speeches are you giving up?
If you're not here, you don't get it.
That one's not. Was it?
We don't need that.
Yeah, now I'm gonna do it because it's.
Okay, now Breonna Taylor is Ivana. This one. Oh, that goes in this one.
Right in front of.
Put the chair there so
Okay, this one is going on the podium.
Can you two sit here?
Or in front of.
You three sit here. Yep. Who's really
Who's Harry Tubman?
sit here, take the chair back.
I don't know where to put your chair.
Bro, where you going?
You gotta move?
Yes.
Like that?
Yeah, sit around this table. So it's kind of move this chair to your left and move this chair right by you. So it's like you look like a studio audience.
Guys, if you have a speech, make sure you're always like aware and looking at me, because if you're not looking at me, or if you don't notice who's saying your name, then we're gonna have a problem.
We. I don't
You and me.
Gonna get jumped.
Just one person. That's all one gentleman, but I need you to. Hey guys, when you're done reading your slide, listen. Shh. When you're done reading your slide, take it with you. So that the next person's slide is the one on top. No, you got this.
Backpacks? I hanged it up.
I'm just kidding.
For hanging. I hang my water bottle. I'm getting all mine. I come here. Breaking something.
So Destiny, get any?
Yes, yeah.
Hey you guys, can you start it at the beginning?
Hey, Linda, the sound is not coming out of the speaker.
Who's Marvin Gaye?
That was fine.
Okay, well then, Destiny, you want it?
Sure.
Bro, Brandon wants to talk.
No, I don't.
Thank you.
Then why are you here?
Check.
I'm VIP? Yeah.
Actually,
Do you have a speech?
Actually,
Visa should be mine.
Chuck Brown.
Jada, aren't they gonna put this like?
Yeah, they're deleting
Brandon just talked.
Visa, we're deleting Chuck Rock?
We're deleting Chuck Brown.
No, go ahead. Well, yeah, Jada's not here.
Okay.
Tyler Perry, whatever.
Tyler Perry.
I think you should keep going.
I'm ready.
Wait, Tyler Perry.
Destiny said she'll get it. Visa, did you delete Tyler Perry? Or Destiny said she
Bro, what?
I can go to the gym
Destiny can do Tyler Perry.
What?
because I don't have to.
Where's Destiny?
Right here.
Oh,
No, you're this. Bro's going to the PE room. Yeah, I know.
Okay, so guys, if you have a speech, can you please make sure you're looking at me?
No.
I don't need to have come over here.
And do you already write your name on it?
I wrote my name on it, but not
That's fine. No, you can. Yeah, I have it.
You're the NPCs?
Could you let me know that wrote your name on it?
So then, so then Stephanie,
This doesn't look like
I'm taking one more set. A lot.
Kate Evergreen.
So you know who you remind me of? I never heard that story where it was like a girl that being nervous about it.
What?
And like, doesn't Clay remind you of that girl? It's like it's about this girl and
What?
it's a scary book about a girl and I think
He was supposed to be clipboard.
Open it up.
Mine
Devin.
It's not a touch. It's not a touch screen.
It's not. Do you want to be?
Okay, this
It's fine.
No. These might be.
No, I know.
These
Go to
might
my
be.
It's fine. No, no.
These might be. Do you seriously want to be the clipboard
No.
person?
It's fine. I'm confused.
and then type in Kai. Oh, it's right there.
Who wants a song?
Yes,
Devin, are you serious? Do you want it?
so play something, say the word.
okay, so basically it's about a girl and she was like
okay, let's try.
she was with a little boy and then they're like friends and stuff and then they it's like scarecrows for Tom Dark or something. And then she's like, she had green ribbon on her neck and he keeps asking her, when can I see your green ribbon? And well, one day I'll show you. And then they get married and he keeps asking her, she doesn't show. And then eventually she's on her deathbed and he says, like, what? No, she pulled it off.
Why are you?
She kind of looks like him.
Okay, guys, you're doing awesome. It's Aaron Wintersong, right?
Don't worry
What?
about messing up.
Yes.
Yes, it's Aaron Wintersong and Matt Griffin.
Best, okay?
Yeah.
Griffin. Okay, I'm gonna call for the all call, and we're gonna do exam before period 2. Okay? And you got it. That's awesome. I'm going first too. Am I handing the microphone to? Hey, but I just
Ivana.
Ivana.
Go first.
No,
Okay, wait, Destiny, and then
Yeah, Destiny starts right now.
Destiny's starting.
Wait, Bernadette, do the officers?
I'm
You're starting, and then you're getting it. Okay. Also, any video, the microphone's got to get back over here, and they have the position that they have to put the microphone in. Okay.
Hey guys, so remember, if there's a video, give the microphone back.
And we are still live. This whole time we've been live.
Are people
You're
watching
doing
it
great.
right now?
Melissa to Sarah.
People watching it right now?
Probably. It's only on all call and then ask them to log in after the all call, but you.
Hi Sarah, would you please give an all call that says the Martin Luther King Assembly will be
Wait, can I see
in
this
1
one?
minute, and for teachers to go ahead and open the link.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Okay, so it's gonna be in the
I don't hear the track. Can they hear me?
Just let me know.
Turn on the speakers. Okay, so Destiny.
No, we actually changed.
Bro, I'm just trying to call it.
First, I think we should probably now, so.
What's happening?
Please excuse this interruption. The MLK Assembly live stream will start in 1 minute. Teachers, please open the link.
Stephanie, I'll let them know that we're gonna have a break. I'll just remind them. Anyone wanna tell me when the minute started?
Sure, why not?
You can see Devin and Devin. You guys are in the shot.
We're supposed to be, background.
But hey, when you go, are you going up to speak? No, okay.
They're a studio audience.
And I'm just
Love
So they
it.
look good. Okay, do you think that's gonna be? Here we go. Good morning, Cascade Middle School. Mrs. Yeoman's here. I hope you're doing well, and I'm glad you're here this morning, even though we're anticipating some snow. So this morning, we are going to have our Martin Luther King Day Assembly, and I want to remind you that this is a serious assembly that requires more formal behavior. So even from the classroom, we want to have more formal behavior for this assembly. At Cascade, we are here to care, belong, and learn, and act like champions. And this means that we're safe, respectful, and responsible. So this morning, we are honoring Martin Luther King, a doctor and a reverend, who also followed these 3 principles. He showed responsibility and respect for mankind by standing up to oppression, and he preached a no violence message to ensure that people were kept safe from needless harm. Let's make sure that we honor him today with our best behavior and by acting like champions, being safe, respectful, and responsible as we enjoy this serious assembly and learn about the great potential that Martin Luther King Jr. fulfilled. I also want to let you know that when it is time to move from first period to second period, we will pause the assembly and resume. We'll have a quick all call at the beginning of second period, and then we'll resume our assembly. And I want to give a special thanks to ASB, Mrs. Stat, Matt Griffin, and Aaron Wintersong for being so flexible and working to make our assembly possible this morning despite some schedule changes. So without any further ado, I'm going to hand the microphone over, and we're going to begin our assembly.
Martin Luther King Jr. Early life. Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15, 1929. He knew that black people and white people had different rights in certain parts of America. As a child, King's encounters with racial discrimination were mild but formative.
What he's known for. His most famous work is his I Have a Dream speech. Martin Luther King Jr. led the bus boycott that was sparked by Rosa Parks that enabled Black people to ride in a public bus and sit in any seat they choose. MLK fought for and achieved mandatory equal voting rights in America.
Okay, we will pause at this time as you pass the second period. Thank you.
Listen, I know this isn't ideal, but you guys put on a good assembly. We're just gonna roll with it. I am just as proud of you as if this was a real assembly. Hold your heads up high, because look, you're facing adversity right now, and you guys are still here, you're still trying.
And people are still
This.
Pushing your face.
Maybe let's just, you know, maybe let's
definitely do this video. I don't know we do this video.
we have to cover our, you know.
Wait, so typically I might have to do that, but once the bell rings.
We have a couple we can exit. I'm not sure.
Or the team president. Just to say.
After this, we go.
I know, but like, there's two of them, and they're talking about things.
Well, I think we should continue this live. Have you seen the president?
No,
Have you seen the kid?
yeah, everybody's busy.
Let's skip that
Are you
one.
good at
I know, I was right there. I'm gonna go.
So this one in the next video.
Of course. No, you have to hold it the whole day.
Our basketball team is better than theirs. It's not me or Courtney. So what? I did my best to defend.
I should be able to show my face. You live on the streets.
So you guys, you'll hear the bell ring, you'll hear another all call. We'll get about a minute and then we'll just start our video. Does that sound good? Yeah. Okay, so that was the bell. Here's the alcohol. Here's the alcohol.
Please excuse this interruption.
Somebody look at 1 minute.
Teachers, the assembly will resume in 1 minute. Thank you.
You guys find a spot at the table. You'll be our audience. It can be behind or in front, doesn't matter. Find a spot. We're going to start with the video? Yeah. We're going to start with the video?
Yes. We're starting it right now.
Okay.
I have a dream. One day, this nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal.
Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15, 1929, and graduated as the valedictorian of Crozier Theological Seminary in 1951. King became pastor of a Baptist church in Montgomery, Alabama, and later completed his Ph.D.
Martin Luther King was a religious man. He was a pastor, looked at racism and all of the so-called sentiments and equal laws and the terrible treatment of people of color in the United States. And he said, this is absolutely wrong. This is against God's will. This is not recognizing the dignity of peoples. And he made us all face that in very powerful ways.
On the eve of Rosa Parks' refusal to move to the back of the city bus in 1955, King was chosen to lead a citywide bus boycott. 2 years later, King and a group of civil rights activists formed the Southern Christian Leadership Conference to conduct nonviolent protests for civil rights.
When Martin Luther King led the Alabama boycott, that was a major turning point in the fight for civil rights. What you saw was people who had been fractionized coming together as one, walking together with others joining the fight. This was when people, America, the world, stood up and said, whoa, what are we looking at here? An amazing time.
Inspired by Gandhi's activism, King worked with the SCLC to organize black voters and civil rights protests. In 1963, King was arrested at a march in Alabama. During his prison time, King wrote a rebuttal to an article denouncing his methods. His longhand notes on the margins of the newspaper became known as Letter from Birmingham Jail and was famously republished and studied in colleges across the country.
Martin Luther King was a man of God who believed that calling necessitated social change in the present, and he put his life on the line for that calling.
Free at last! Free at last! Thank God Almighty! We are free at last!
On August 28, 1963, King led more than 20,000 people in a massive demonstration at the Lincoln Memorial, where his speech, I Have a Dream, became a defining moment in civil rights history. Through his work, King helped pass the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and received the Nobel Peace Prize that same year.
Martin Luther King, according to Time in 1963, personified the civil rights movement. He took on one of the greatest challenges of his time and was one of the people that most influenced this very transformative time in American history.
Although King faced criticism from more militant black leaders, he continued his peaceful efforts toward both racial and economic justice. After delivering his I've Been to the Mountaintop speech at a rally in Memphis, King was assassinated the next day on April 4th,
1968, while standing at the balcony of his motel room. King's assassination was, I think, devastating for many people. But there's also a rising level of organization, and many people, King's assassination galvanizes them into many kind of black power movements across the country, many anti-poverty movements. So it's both a moment of despair, but also a moment of political power. Posthumously, King was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1977 and a Congressional Gold Medal in 2004. Today, the Martin Luther King Jr. National Holiday continues to be honored on the third Monday of every January.
Martin Luther King Jr. gave his I Have a Dream speech on August 28, 1963 during the March on Washington. He almost didn't give his speech because he had a fever and he thought a severe storm in Memphis, Tennessee would keep people from coming to hear him. 250,000 people gathered to march for rights. Then the famous I Have a Dream speech was heard.
Martin Luther King, Jr. I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation. Shadow we stand today, signed the Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came as a great beacon light of hope to millions of Negro slaves who had been seared in the flames of withering injustice. It came as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of their captivity. But 100 years later, the Negro still is not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream
Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated on April 4th, 1968 in Memphis, Tennessee. King was rushed to the hospital after he was shot on his hotel balcony and passed away after an hour. It was clear that the fight for equality would have continued even beyond the grave of Martin Luther King Jr. There are many people who have encountered racism. Here are some people who a lot of us have heard about. Many have had struggles with racism in the past, but some have been much more recently. George Floyd. George Floyd was born on October 14th in 1973. He impacted us because of Floyd's death was credited to racism. In the wake of Floyd's death, the phrase Black Lives Matter rose to the prominence, like it has never had before. Floyd passed away on May 25th, 2020, after a police officer had his knee against his neck, making it so he couldn't breathe for 9.5 minutes. Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor was born on June 5th, 1993. She impacted us because her death inspired protests about racism. She passed away on March 13th, 2020, after being shot by a police officer. A famous quote of her was, "I want to be the one who finally breaks the cycle of my family's educational history. I want to be the one who finally makes a difference."
Rosa Parks was born February 4th, 1913. She passed away October 24th, 2005. Rosa Parks graced the struggle for racial equality when she refused to give up her seat on the bus to a white man, breaking unfair segregation laws. She inspired equality movements with her bravery. An inspirational quote by her is, "To bring change, you must not be afraid to take the first step. We will fail when we try."
Ella Jo Baker was born on December 13th, 1903, in Norfolk, Virginia. Growing up in North Carolina, she developed a sense for social justice early on, due in part to her grandmother's stories about life under slavery. As a slave, her grandmother had been whipped for refusing to marry a man chosen for her by the slave owners. Her grandmother's pride and resilience in the face of racism and injustice continued to inspire Miss Baker. Throughout her life, as soon as she was grown, she moved to New York and participated in many organizations that demanded equality for women and people of color. She passed away December 13th, 1986, her 83rd birthday. A famous quote from her is, "One of the things that has to be faced is the process of waiting to change the system. How much we have got to do to find out who we are, where we come from, and where we go."
Harriet Tubman. Harriet was born March 18, 2022. Harriet Tubman was a slave who escaped slavery and went north. She impacted the world because she was a brave leader and led many slaves to freedom via the Underground Railroad. She passed away March 10, 1913. Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars to change the world.
Alice Coachman. Alice Coachman was born on November 9, 1923. Alice was the first Black woman from any country to win an Olympic gold medal. She passed away July 14, 2014. Her famous quote was, "I made a difference among the Blacks being one of the leaders. If I had gone to the games and failed, there wouldn't be anyone to follow my footsteps."
Maya Angelou was born on April 4th, 1928. Maya worked for the cause many times right along Dr. Martin Luther King. Maya continues to impact us with both the beauty and the call to action with her words. She passed away on May 28th, 2014. It is impossible to struggle for civil rights, equal rights for blacks, without including whites, because equal rights, fair play, justice, and all are all like the air. We all have it, or none of us has it. That is the truth of it.
Barack Obama. Barack Obama was born August 4th, 1961. Barack Obama impacted the world by being the first African American to hold the office. He is now 62 years old. He said, "We did not come to fear the future, we came here to shape it."
Inspiring Black people of the past and present. Many people of color have risen to be great American leaders in the world and in their particular field. Here are some that have inspired us. Will Smith. One of his quotes were, "The first step is you have to say that you can." Will Smith was born September 25th, 1968. He is 55 years old. Will founded the Will and Jada Smith Family Foundation to benefit inner city community development, youth educational projects, and underprivileged children and their families. Brent Faiyaz. Brent Faiyaz was born on September 9th, 1995. Brent is an inspiration to us because he writes music that moves us. He's a rapper. He is now 28 years old. A famous quote of his is, "Stay true to your roots and where you came from, no matter how much success you achieve." Michael B. Jordan. He was born February 9th, 1987. He impacted the world by bringing social change to Hollywood through his art and philanthropy. He is 36 years old. One of his quotes is, "You borrow from the greats and you make your own path without losing the core of who you are."
Drake. Drake was born October 24th, 1986. Drake is 37 years old. Drake struggled with family problems and grew up in a bad environment. He has inspired us by pushing through his problems and succeeding by being a powerful Black rapper, showing no matter how much you may be struggling, you can try and succeed. He said, "I was born to make mistakes, not to fake perfection."
LeBron James was born on December 30th, 1984. At first, he gained local attention in Cleveland by giving away bikes and backpacks for kids who couldn't afford them. LeBron is 39 years old. One of his quotes is, "Dream as if you live forever, live as if you die today." Kobe Bryant was born on August 23rd, 1978. For 12 years, he was an ambassador for after-school All-Stars. He used his time and his resources to inspire over 90,000 kids to want to become a basketball star like him. Kobe was always willing to lend a helping hand to help the youth. Kobe died January 26, 2020.
Gianna Maria Gigi Bryant, basketball player, Kobe Bryant's daughter. Gianna Bryant was born on May 1st, 2006 and passed away on January 26, 2020. She was a talented and inspiring basketball player who captured the hearts of millions before her passing. As the daughter of basketball superstar Kobe Bryant and a rising star in her own right, Gianna left an undeniable mark on the world of basketball at a young age. She would always inspire young people as herself to follow their dreams. Today, she would have been 17 years old. Her famous quote was, "Make every moment and experience the heart can hold on to."
SZA. SZA was born November 8th, 1989. SZA worked on activist issues and dedicated to fight against environmental racism. She is 34 years old. A famous quote of hers was, "Some people are gonna hate you for no reason. You're gonna shine regardless." Muhammad Ali was born on January 17, 1942 in Louisville, Kentucky. He used his fame to build awareness of racial and global inequities. He died on June 3, 2016. A famous quote he said, "If my mind can conceive it and my heart can believe it, I can achieve it."
Marvin Gaye was born on April 2nd, 1939. Marvin Gaye was an inspirational figure in the fight for justice and equality in America. He passed away April 1st, 1984. "If you cannot find peace within yourself, you will never find it anywhere else," he said. Langston Hughes. Langston Hughes was born on February 1st, 1901. Langston's influential work transformed the Black image to the rest of the world. He passed away on May 22nd, 1967. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry was born on September 13th, 1969. Tyler has built an empire that has attracted audiences and built communities from the Tyler Perry Studios, home based in Atlanta, Georgia, throughout the world. What did he do for the cause? He is 54 years old. Focus on one thing, make it your priority, stick with it no matter what.
Civil Rights Movement conclusion. The Civil Rights Movement was a nationwide movement for equal rights for African Americans and for an end to racial segregation. It was a campaign that consisted of marches, speeches, and boycotts. The main leader was Martin Luther King Jr. The reason we celebrate this holiday is to remember that what happened is in the past and how it affects it today. The ways you can help keep our community fair and equal is by sticking up for others. Include everyone. Don't discriminate and hate. Don't let people discriminate you. And make sure everyone feels like they belong. Thank you so much for watching, Cougars. And please have a great 3-day weekend.
No longer live.